Next presenter.
I needed somebody reading this for me. I don't read in English.
I know your time's done, so I need you to do it that way.
Did you want to make a statement, ma'am?
No.
What she needs is someone to read the statement. Her English isn't that good, and she wants to get her statement in. Norma?
Okay, could we have the next presenter whilst we're figuring out who's going to read for her?
Yes, sir.
Let's have the next gentleman.
I'm just trying to be polite. My name is Richard Hammond. I'd like to ask you all to just do me one simple favor. Please stand up, take all your clothes off. Allow everyone here in the room to take a look at you. Turn around, bend over, lift your arms up and have them inspect your armpits. Check you over for pressure sores, because if they don't, if you're in my shoes, you're going to end up in the hospital or dead. You get people that you trust, and you teach yourself to do things you've never done in your life before. I was deputy mayor of Albuquerque, New Mexico. I had 6,000 employees that worked for me. I've never had to ask anyone, excuse me, to wipe myself. Now I have to. I appreciate your time. Don't do this.
Thank you.
I'm translating for Teresita. I am here to give my opinion on the proposition that has been presented, and only I'm supposed to work 40 hours per week, totally 160 hours per month. I don't think this makes sense, because in this line of work, you cannot find people who want to work 283 hours per month, much less 160 hours per month. However, reason this change occurs with my job, I live in 3 caregivers have been needed since quadriplegic clients need 24-hour care, 7 days a week. There are many people in this situation. If you crunch the numbers, you will see that it will not work, because the cost is going to be more money, and you're not taking into account that. The clients will not be safe or healthy. Just any caregiver or any client do not have the same attention as they will have with people they know. This runs the risk of the client being hospitalized and ending up in the emergency room. As a PCA, I worked with this person for over 21 years. I'm aware of all their needs. In the past, I cared for another quadriplegic for 5 years. In fact, each disabled individual requires different things of care. We must share food expenses and other bills. This is why personally affects me severely, because in this change, money would be not enough.
Could you please?
In this kind of work is human charity and not for the salary. Not all people think the same. I'm almost done. This is why, remember, for each severely disabled individual that goes in an institution costs higher times than what we do. Yeah. This is my opinion, Teresita.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and the rest of the panel. My name is Leoma Lee. I'm the chair for the In-Home Supportive Services Advisory Committee here in Sacramento, and I'm also an active advocate for people with disabilities, seniors, and children 0 to 5. So I get around. I see familiar faces everywhere these days. I'm asking that you give us our hours back, because I've been in that cut on the, 8%? And it does affect how much time I get with my caregiver, which is usually 2 hours or maybe 4 hours or 6 hours a week. So by the end of the month, she's had all her hours and I'm on my own. So, you know, and this 40 hours a week's not going to work because she can't afford to pay rent on just the 40 hours, well, the 30-some hours I get without working for other people too. So I don't see how this is going to work. So I appreciate you guys giving it your notice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Connie Arnold. I'm from Elk Grove, California. I'm a disability policy consultant. I know some of you. I'm an IHSS recipient over 30 years and an IHO WPCS recipient since several years now. I'm here also as an advocate, as an advanced pay IHSS recipient, and I want to talk to you about what this governor's proposal means to me. I also want to state that usually I'm in nice professional attire when I'm here before you, but today I came in my Harley Davidson shirt with skulls and barbed wire because I feel like this is the governor and his DOF minions that came out with this proposal to cap IHSS provider hours at 40 hours per month, 40 hours a week, which, if you do the math, the governor's proposal to cap IHSS hours a caregiver can work up to 40 hours per week is 52.143 weeks a year times 40 hours a week, which is 2,085.72 hours per year, divided by 12 months, which equals 173.81 hours per month on a 365-day year. Not leap year, because that has 366 days in a year, which means an IHSS provider caregiver maximum hours would be capped at 173.81 hours per month. Yet some months have 30 days and some have 31 and some have 28, like in February 2014. So on an average of a 7-day week, that would mean a person could work 5.714 hours per day.
Could you provide a conclusion, please?
But if it was 8 hours, it would be 8 hours a day if it was a 5-day work week. That does not equate with our lives. Let me tell you, I have this to hand out. Can you guys hand this letter out? This is a 4-page letter in detail about what this means to our lives. Last week, I got a list of caregivers, 6 names from the registry, because I asked for somebody that did not smoke, somebody that had a car, and somebody that wasn't allergic to cats, because I have cats. And I got 6 names. Of those names, one had 2 disconnected phone numbers, one was not available, one was allergic to cats.
You need to sum up, please.
So anyway, I'm really absolutely opposed to this proposal. It's going to devastate our lives. If I want to work and get a job, what do you expect me to do? If I got to travel to LA, then, you know, what, I only get 3 days down there? And let me also, I need to tell you about the IHO WPCS. Those are capped at about $48,000 a year. So what do? When the provider rate goes up, they reduce my hours. And now I'm going to have to also police my caregivers that work for other people, okay? They work for other people. I have one person.
We're going to have to bring it to a close. Thank you very much. You probably talked at least 5 minutes now.
Well,
so.
I'm going to tell you.
And we got your letter.
That is a problem. We're trying to police other people.
I understand
that. Is a problem.
I understand,
okay?
But there's a long line behind you.
And
Thank
I'm
you very
opposed
much.
to this. Pay the overtime or call.
I got that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I mean, I figured you have to drag me out of here by the police. How angry I am.
That's right. That's right. Okay. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Nancy Becker Kennedy. We started a grassroots movement called the IHSS Consumers Union 2 years ago. Now there's 570 rank-and-file providers and consumers who talk each night on there. Rosita Whitaker doesn't want to lose her in-home care because she will go from $2,800 a month to living on $1,700 a month. Her daughter was raped by a bus driver. She doesn't want her autistic daughter being put in danger again, and she's going to stay with her for the rest of her life. Dawn Gaudette's son was killed in a facility. He was beat up, and at 21, he was neglected until he died. I deeply resent that I have 1 minute to plead for their lives. And I deeply resent that this governor was going to cut this program 20% until legal aid made him only cut it 8%. This has been a house of cards for me to live on. I have to buy my attendants food. I have to give an attendant an electric fry pan so she can warm up water so her children will be warm because she has no utilities. And the union played a high-stakes game of chicken when we told them for the last 2 years, if you demand this here, it's going to result in funding caps, and you're going to ruin our consumer-directed care. And they would not sit down at the table with us. And they played a high-stakes game of chicken with all our lives. I say you call the governor and you tell him to carve out government-funded IHSS services. The companionship exemption was put into effect for a reason, and those reasons have not changed. We are going to enjoin this because custodial care for a disabled person hasn't changed in 39 years. And I think they're hoping for partial payments so they can enhance their dues potential at our expense.
Let me simply say that the fact that we've given 1 minute does not in any way minimize the seriousness of this concern nor the sensitivity of the members who are on this panel. We understand it completely. This is not our proposal. You know, we're responding to a proposal, but it is not our proposal. I would imagine if I took the vote of my colleagues here, there's probably very little support for this proposal as it stands. Well, we are, and that is what we must do. But I'm just saying, you can talk to us for 25 minutes as an individual. Our position is probably still the same. I hope people understand that. We want to hear you. You wait a minute. We hear you. If you have anything longer to say, you can write it and submit it to us. We will hear it and we will read it. But us saying we have a minute is because, look, we're at 3 o'clock. We still have another item to discuss. And so, in deference to the time of those in the audience who've come, as well as those on the panel. But I don't want people to believe that because we're saying 1 minute that means that your issue's not important. We have about, wait a minute, could you be, we have about an hour left. Please, whatever additional issues you have, submit them to us in writing, and we'll be more than happy to hear it. Okay, let us have the next speaker, please. Have the next item, please. Thank you.
I hope somebody has to have 1 minute to plead for their lives.
And coming from LA, that's a hardship.
Here you go, sir.
Committee Chair and members of the committee, my name is Russell Rawlings. I am the president of a local disability advocacy group, Dogfight, Disability Organizing Group for Initiating Total Equality. We hear from many people in the Sacramento Valley region and hold a member-directed advocacy group meeting every month. And as you can hear, there are a bunch of people that are really upset about this. And, if what you just said was true, that you universally think that this is a bad idea, I would encourage you to go to the governor and tell him that these proposals are evil. They are evil. They are punishing people that do not deserve to be punished. And there is no reason why this has to happen. I mean, you're talking about locking providers out of the system entirely based on a whim, and these are things that the state is going to, or the counties and whoever you have administer this, they're going to make mistakes. So you're going to have people locked out of the system for nothing more than a simple mistake. So I would really encourage you to just go back, throw all of this out. The 7% cut is devastating. The 8% has been horrific.
Thank you very much. We have to undergo this process. Hopefully you understand that. The administration has a right to present its proposal. As a committee, we hear it. We then come up with our recommendation, and hopefully, based on that, that will impact the budget situation that we have at hand. This is a process we must undertake. Thank you. Yes.
Hi, my name is Letitia Sanchez. I'm a single mother of 7. I work about 50 to 60 hours a week to provide for my kids, so this cap would really devastate my family, the people I care for. I care for 2 people, so it's going to be a very hard situation for the both of them. One of them is not a quad yet, but has quad tendencies. He has post-polio. The other one is a quadriplegic who has just recently gotten back from having bed sores. That hospital stay cost a lot of money. It was about 3 months. But anyways, I just wanted to commend all you people, all the workers, and just keep fighting. Don't give up. Get other people involved, and let's just do this. And thank you for your time and your comments. They mean a lot.
My name is Ernie Spence. I'm from Solano County. I take care of my husband. Several years ago, he had 3 brain strokes. And I don't want any stranger coming into my house, taking care of my husband. They don't know his needs. We've been married for 40 years, and we didn't grow old together, senior citizen, that he's understanding me. But I do understand him, and I understand his needs. So I just want the governor to think about what he's doing. That's all I can say.
My name's Jerry Williams from Sutter. Been taking care of my son for 6 years. Having a stranger come into my house and help and take care of him would be devastating. These cuts, we would lose our home, our car, and we did that. I could not take care of my son. And having somebody take care of my son is not going to happen on my watch. Thank you.
My name is Marta Cobos. I'm a home care provider for like 10.5 years, and I'm going to speak about my son, Misael and Leonel. They're autistic, and I don't like this proposal. I disagree strongly with that because they're going to lose all the stuff that we win in the last years of therapy. I've been dedicating my at least 10 years, 24/7 to them to develop and get better and get some skills to survive. And now they want to destroy everything just because they want to save some money. So I cannot say too much that they're devastating many families, and of course my family. Thank you.
Okay, I can talk on that one too. Well, there's a couple of subjects that you're talking on now, but the in-home supportive services needs a lot to be worked on because the caregivers do not want to do all the things that's on the notice of action, and being a disabled person, as you can see, it's very difficult to do certain things. So they shouldn't, in my opinion, they shouldn't be paid for something that they're not doing. You know, it's a waste of taxpayers' money to pay people who aren't doing the work for us disabled people that they're supposed to do. And I don't think it's fair to the taxpayers, it's not fair to me, it's not fair to anybody here. And that's not good. So I don't have much else to say about that. And the reason why I'm late, unfortunately, is because of my caregiver. She didn't want to leave when I told her she was supposed to leave. And I'm going to talk later on about what's next.
Hi, my name is Loretta Jackson, Sacramento County Home Care. I do home care. I provide home care for my sister, also my dad. My sister, who had an aneurysm on the brain and a stroke, she was in a nursing facility. She was raped every day that she was in that facility for 6 months. And for me to have a stranger to come into my home would be devastating, not only to my sister, but to me as well. Knowing what she went through, knowing she's not able to talk, she's not able to walk, she can't do anything for herself, and to know that a stranger came in and took advantage of her. I would like to ask our governor to please reconsider the 40-hour cap because my sister needs me, also my dad who has dementia. It would be devastating for a stranger to come in and try to work with him, especially someone he don't know, because not only would it be harmful to him, but it would be harmful to them as well. So please think about it and don't let it happen. Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Aisha. I'm a provider from Solano County. My recipient is my brother. My brother's condition is he has stage 4 congestive heart failure. When you bring that down to technicality, his heart beats about 20% out of the 100. So he needs care all the time. He needs supervision to be monitored on his medication, his diet, etc. The prior year 7% cuts was a devastation on my brother and other recipients throughout California. I'm asking and pleading with this committee to recommend to the governor, in order to preserve the quality of care that IHSS clients rely on each day and prevent the unnecessary devastation on those that care for them, to implore legislators to reject the governor's proposal to cap IHSS caregiver hours and restore critical hours of care to IHSS clients. Thank you so much for your time.
Good afternoon. My name is Mary Fua. I'm currently taking care of my boyfriend who resides in San Francisco. He is diagnosed with neuroblastoma, which is a form of cancer. And the hours that I've been cut, me living in Solano County, I may have to move him out to Solano County, which I'm quite sure will be another whole different issue. But that's one of the reasons why I'm here, is because of the cuts. Thank you.
Madam Chair, members of the committee, my name is Chris Jensen, and I work for Resources for Independent Living. We're an independent living center that provides services in Sacramento and Yolo counties. We see a lot of people that require in-home supportive services, and we work with their providers also. And I can't say anything better that's been said from both the advocates and the providers and the consumers. But I have something that was clarified for us at the stakeholder meeting on Monday. And, you know, the devil is in the details. And one of the details is that this wait time that is going to be paid for during doctor's visits, those hours will be subtracted from the consumer's hours. So they will receive fewer service hours because of that. The governor has put in his budget an approximate of 3 hours. And he has no data on that at all. So it could be a lot more than that, and it would mean that they receive less services in their home. So I ask that you take a look at that, and I know that the department's heard that, and hopefully that'll be part of the discussion going forward. Thank you very much.
Madam Chair, members, Carl London here today on behalf of the California Disability Services Association. We're an organization of over 80 community-based nonprofits statewide that work with persons with developmental disabilities. I want to say that I thought the paper, the background paper, really lays this out well. The ledge analyst did a good job of describing some possibilities. As you can tell, the budget proposal as is doesn't work. We do not completely fall on the side of just saying that overtime is the only solution. We do think there is some reason for the state of California to push back on the federal administration to look at some of the exemptions that have previously and historically been in place, as was mentioned earlier. There simply aren't 55,000 new workers out there to help with this population to do the tasks we're talking about. And I want to raise a further issue that relates to the community-based providers. Part of our mandate is to work to help provide services for the persons under their IPP. Some of that involves coordination with the IHSS providers, and we're being told that there's a possibility if we do that, we run the risk of violating the overtime laws because we've now coordinated with the other persons providing hours to the person to make their lives work. That's got to be looked at as well in this proposal that you end up finding a solution for. Thank you.
Madam Chair, members, Michael Richard with AARP California on behalf of our 3.1 million members. AARP is concerned both about consumers and caregivers and their access to quality, affordable, long-term services. The governor's proposal would restrict overtime for IHSS. In light of the budget surplus, we believe that the governor should focus, instead of restricting IHSS, on restoring funding cuts not only for IHSS but for SSI. Thank you.
Evening, Madam Chair, members. My name is Tony Anderson. I'm the Executive Director of the ARC of California, also representing United Cerebral Palsy. We're an association of people with developmental disabilities, their families, and providers. Most of our comments have been taken up, so there goes a couple pages for you. But I really love to associate my comments also with Nancy's and Connie's, because really they're good friends of ours, great advocates. One thing I would want to highlight, though, in addition, is that something that a lot of people don't want to talk about or know about is that people with developmental disabilities are often, reports show, about 10 times more likely to be abused or victims of crime than any other group. And this is it's in the minds of all of our parents throughout the state. We make up about 10% of the caseload in IHSS. And I tell you, there's not a lot of extra people that our parents are willing to bring into their homes. And it's great to know we have so many champions up there. I know we've met with you all and that you're on our side, but you just have to know that we're strongly opposed to the governor's proposal here, and we hope that you'll be on our side to knock this one down, as you often have been. So thank you.
Hi, my name is Della Garrett Lundell, and I live in Hillmar, California. I live in the country. It would be very difficult to get somebody to come out to my house to take care of my son in the spur of the moment or when my 40 hours runs out. It would be devastating to us. It has taken 4 family members to take over my shift at home so I could make it here today. So that's how much I do as one person. It takes my husband, his mom, his dad, and my other son in shifts to do what I do 24/7. So, and I'm a little disappointed that there are so many empty seats up there. Doggone it. Is it the whole committee? I wanted it to be full because we have so much to tell you. But
Madam Chair, could also remind you that it is being televised, and people throughout the building, including the governor's office, are watching this hearing. So you're not just talking to those of us sitting up here.
Oh, good. Governor Brown, if you're listening, I met you at Kennedy Meadows 2 years ago with my son. I happened to be up there because I had to make a phone call because he would not eat or drink because he wasn't in his own place. That's a small change. Just look what happened. There was 20,000 people there taking care of you. One person for my son. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sharon Duchessie. I'm from Placer County. I'm a IHSS provider. I provide for 2 people. One of the things I would really like you guys to maybe look at is the financial side. You're going to be looking for providers to fill in for maybe 2 or 3 hours a day. 2 or 3 hours a day in my county, that's $30. That's my gas to get there. So please, overtime caps, as much as I would like those 2 or 3 hours, I would rather give them to the person that would need them in order to pay their rent or their utilities or their groceries. Thank you.
Madam Chair, members of the committee, my name is Richard Scheiber, El Dorado County IHSS caregiver for 5,891 days. Marta Zangari, the woman I care for, the woman I love. From 1936 to 1945, there was a very successful government program that radically cut the cost of care for the elderly and disabled. It would be hard to estimate the amount of money that was saved. It would be hard to estimate because the money was in Reichsmarks. The government was German, and the program merely identified the elderly and disabled as life undeserving of life. In 2014, the governor of California now suggests that this same population is life undeserving of overtime. The difference is semantic. The suggestion is abomination. You cannot save money. You can only save people. You can employ money. Send your money to work with me. I will give you your money's worth.
Okay. My name is Jane Cardis, and I was on the speakers list, but I stepped aside for someone else who I thought was more compelling. I am a recipient of in-home supportive services, as well as being on the board for Mendocino County in-home supportive services. I'm a blind recipient, member of the California Council of the Blind, as well as the American Council of the Blind. And I know how many people receive good and safe care by staying in their own home. I am one of those recipients, and I appreciate it so much, and the honor of being here today. My representative here is Wesley Chesbro, which I'm ever so grateful for. And I am, that's about it, but thank you so much. I did not, when it was announced from the floor that I had not been able to come, I did want to come forward and tell you I've been here for the whole thing. Thank you so much.